Trigger warning, controlling behavior. My husband wants me to quit my job because of a customer. I have been married to my husband for about 2 years. Together for 5. 2 children, 2 and 3. I run a cafe with my sister, and it's located in a very popular neighborhood with lots of office workers. There's also some type of day center. I'm sorry, my English is not very good, so I don't know the proper terminology. If I use offensive words, tell me and I will edit it. This day center is for people with different kinds of disabilities. They do simpler types of work. There's a boy, maybe around 25 or 30 years old, with Down syndrome that works there. Every morning, his taxi drops him off at 7:30, and he comes to our cafe, takes breakfast and coffee, and sits on the same table facing my workstation. He doesn't say much, he just smiles and asks how I'm doing and what my plans are. He refuses when my sister or one of the girls help him. It must be me. If I'm busy, he waits until I'm available. Then he starts his day at 8. We close at 4 p.m., and at 3:30 p.m., he comes again and sits on the same table until his taxi comes around 4, and usually I give him a soda or a smoothie on the house. Apparently, when I'm not working, he gets very confused, stays for a while without understanding that I'm not there, and then leaves without eating. My sister and her wife were invited to dinner with me and my husband. I was home sick the week before, so she was laughing and telling us about the boy and how he refused to be served by anyone and just waited outside for me. My husband was confused, so my sister explained everything about this customer. My husband was silent the rest of the dinner. When they went home, he asked me why I never told him about this customer, and that he thought that the guy was being disrespectful. He asked if he knew I was married. I was confused as to why he would say something like that. Then he became angry because I said that he had Down syndrome, and he meant that there are functioning people with this syndrome and that I was the prejudiced one, not him. I told him that I was aware of that, but this boy in question seemed and appeared to be much younger, and when he started, one of the people working in the day center noticed his behavior and came to check if he was making us uncomfortable, and explained that he had the mind of an 8-year-old and is a creature of habit. At the time, we told them that he was very polite and pleasant to have as a customer. My husband wasn't happy about it. Next week, my husband showed up at 7:30 and took the exact table the boy usually takes. When he came, he was very flustered and didn't know what to do, so he just stood near my workstation with his sandwich and coffee in hand. I asked him if he wanted me to help him find another table, but my husband was very angry and told the boy to respect me because I'm a married woman and to not come and stare at me again. The boy apologized, and he just left and waited outside, all confused. I was heartbroken and begged my husband to apologize and to leave the table because the boy is a creature of habit and doesn't really like changes. He said he didn't care because, obviously, he's in love with me. My sister told my husband about how I got a Valentine's Day card last year. When I got home, my husband said that he makes good money and we don't need my income. He had contacted my sister to ask her to take over my share of the cafe because I didn't need to work. He said he was most disappointed because I never told him about my customer or the card he gave me, so I must have thought it was out of line. But it wasn't like that at all. It's just that I get hundreds of customers every day, and I don't have to tell my husband about all of them. He said it wasn't the same as someone who's in love with me. I'm in my cafe every day and sometimes when I'm alone. Relevant comments. Overall disaster. Your husband is a complete jerk to do all of this, from confronting this guy to going straight to your sister to quit your job for you. Is he so controlling like this in other aspects? I would have a hard time believing he's not. OP replied, he called my job a hobby. I work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. 4 days a week, and I make mid-6 figures per year. He called it a hobby. We don't need your hobby, he said. Made up so me own. I think it's just the wording. They are not native English speakers. I took it to mean either 150K or 50K, depending on their native tongue. Either could be the case. OP. My share is between $450,000 to $500,000 a year, but we are not from the USA. We do a lot of catering for funeral homes, graduations, Christmas, and office parties, and some weddings. We're planning to expand on the wedding business when our children are older. Bexbits, is your husband cheating on you? Why is he so jealous? I would start snooping to find out what your husband is projecting onto you. OP, he is not cheating. Nothing indicates that. He's always home after work or hangs out with people I know. He doesn't hide his phone or other devices. I have all his login information, and we love each other very much. Shoxford, your husband sounds jealous, controlling, and unkind. Completely unreasonable to react like this. OP, okay, so the reaction here is basically what I'm feeling. So I'm not going as mad as my family thinks I am. Thank you. I needed to know that my feelings were valid and that I didn't do anything wrong by hiding the fact that I have a customer who likes me. Update. Hi. I'm from yesterday about my husband, who upset a customer with Down syndrome. I have shown my husband this post, and he thought that I wasn't fair in relaying the story. He didn't know what the guy's condition was, so he just didn't feel comfortable with the idea of a guy waiting for me every morning, so he wanted to check who that was. Then he was angry because I ignored his feelings when I tried to help Jimmy find another table. Now he has promised to apologize to Jimmy because I told him that he was very scared today when he came to our cafe and didn't know if he could sit on his usual table or not. I have talked to the teacher at the day center, explained everything, and apologized. Apparently, Jimmy has been reluctant to attend the day center and has been calling in sick. It broke my heart, and I was so angry with my husband that I told him everything about it. So he will apologize to Jimmy when the teacher deems it appropriate to do so. About my work, my husband does make a good living, and yes, but I don't want to sell my share to my sister, even though she wants me to. I own 65%, and I love my cafe. But to meet my husband halfway, I will be hiring someone to take over my work, and I could still be the owner and a stay-at-home mom. My husband agreed to this and is very happy about it. He has also apologized for calling my work a hobby. Relevant comments. Ellie B. Are you going to be happy being a stay-at-home mom if you love your cafe? I know you are trying to find a compromise, but you shouldn't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Your husband was way out of line, and I'm glad he will be apologizing to Jimmy. But you didn't do anything wrong in this situation, so why is a job you love on the chopping block? Whatever you decide, I hope you will be fulfilled. You seem like a kind person. OP. I will miss my work, but I will try this if it makes my husband happy. If I feel miserable, I can go back to work. My husband talked about a 1-year contract. I will try it. Teach me how to do chess. Your husband wants you to sign a contract on this. OP. Yeah, with the employee that takes my place, in case I want to go back to work. Janillian. I would look at my husband very differently if he chose to treat another human the way yours did. OOP. I told him that I do, because it's true. He regrets it and says he will try to make it up to me. Pet Mama 1234567. He regrets it so much that he's insisting you stop working there. OOP. I know it sounds bad, but I will try his way and see if he is happier. But I know I have my job anytime I want it. But he knows that I'm shocked and turned off by his strange behavior, and he promised he would make it up to Jimmy. He genuinely regrets what he did, especially when I told him that he's been calling in sick and acting carefully. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoy listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.